Hi guys, welcome back to Daniel's project. This is a bit of a different video. It's about training theory and elements of a strength training session. But I think this video is really helpful for structuring your own training sessions with regards to your movement practice. But before I go inside and film the rest of the video, I would like to mention two more things. First of all, I recently started or created an online mentorship program or online coaching program with limited spaces, so only 3 spaces. If you're interested in learning more about a movement practice, if you're interested in online coaching and also starting your own business or turning your passion into a business, and much more if you're interested in writing essays and learning more about training in general and how you can become a more autonomous movement practitioner, then feel free to send me a message. And second, I created one more digital document for my online store, which is called Tools for Creating Awareness, with 5 different ideas for becoming more self-aware and aware for others. This is a really simple PDF of 2 pages for just 15 euros. You can check it out. The link is in the description box below, with elements from meditation, standing meditation and some other awareness practices, for example locking the monkey and the right presence of mind. And without further ado, let's hop straight into the video, and I hope you guys learn a lot. And yeah, this video is really valuable for your own training. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section down below. Hello guys, welcome to this video. It's called Elements of a Strength Training Session. These elements can also be used in other training sessions as well, but I feel like a lot of people on my channel are interested in strength training, especially in bodyweight strength training with regards to a general physical practice or movement practice. And I think this is a wonderful topic to talk about. And I also have another video on a similar topic, which is called bodyweight strength training terminology. I'll put a link in the info card on the top right corner. But before we start, I would like to give some credits to my friend and teacher Jonathan, who provided the Community, which is my online training and teaching platform, with a similar document on this topic. This document was a lot more comprehensive, I would say. This is just a small part out of this document, and he shared his knowledge with me over the last few years. So I think giving credits is a fair way to, I don't know how to say that. So to give his work some value, I would say. So first of all the following elements or sections are, it's not necessary to implement all of them in your training session. This is just an example list of a couple of them, and I think it's super helpful for you guys to get a bit more theory about this topic, because this will help you eventually with your own training. So first of all, let's start with a general warm-up. This is, I think, not always needed, but I think it helps you to become ready to get into the training state, to leave the everyday life state, and make yourself ready for the training session. Because in my opinion, this is the theory. So right now you're here, this is your everyday life state, and this is your training state. And we want to bridge the gap between our everyday life state. So let's call this everyday life. And this training state. And also afterwards, we want to include a cool down, which will eventually help us with leaving the training state and going back into the everyday life state as well. So this is the cool down, and this represents the warm-up. So the warm-up is here to leave the everyday life state, like we're coming back from work or university or whatsoever, or just chilling at home. And we want to use the general warm-up and the specific warm-up later to propel us up here into our training state, to go or to be in an optimal and ready state for our training. And afterwards we want to get down and into our everyday life state as well. So first of all, the general warm-up. We want to get some blood flowing in here, increase our heart rate, and get our nervous system ready for training. So what can we do? For example, we can do some rope skipping. We can go for a run, a short run, everything that is everything with low impact. So nothing really heavy here. You can do jumping, really small jumps, no big jumps. You can go for a bike run, what do I say? You can ride the bike towards the gym, for example. This can be also your general warm-up, etc. So this is the whole goal of the general warm-up. Let's make a big box around here. General warm-up. So after we did the general warm-up, for example, 5 to 10 minutes, totally up to you. We are doing the specific warm-up, or you can do the specific warm-up, which is already, as the name suggests, specific to the exercise you're doing later on, to the exercises you are doing later on. Low intensity, of course, and high or higher volume, I would say. Let's make a box around here. So for example, we are doing a strength session and we are working towards the one-arm chin-up and the handstand push-up, both of these. So we are doing a mixed bent arm strength session. So we can do, for example, some shoulder mobility work, wrist warm-up, because we need our wrists later on, and we also need to load our shoulders with a lot of weight. And also we can include some chin-ups, because we are doing one-arm chin-up work later. So chin-ups are, according to our training or physical state, an exercise with low intensity, and we are doing like 8 to 12 reps here, for example. And for example, we can do handstand hold and some pike push-ups, like 8 to 12 reps here, push-ups. So this is our specific warm-up. We can do all of these in a superset, 1 to 2 sets, for example, which is specifically done or made for the exercise we are doing later on. And usually within our training, we want to achieve a skill, and the one-arm chin-up and the handstand push-ups are both a skill. So we are including some patterning work. And you can also call this technical element work, totally up to you. And this aims or is specifically created to learn the technical details and the fine things of the movement we want to learn later on. So for example, we let me write this down. It's created specifically for the movements or the skills we want to learn. This can also just include a part of the pattern. So for example, in the handstand push-up, it can include just the bottom hold, the sticky point hold. And for the one-arm chin-up, for example, it can just include the top hold. It is an opportunity, or it should represent an opportunity for you to better understand of what the skill is about. It's more of a body type learning. You're learning how to do the skill, and you're not focusing on the brute strength that is needed for the skill. So what is important in the one-arm chin-up? How can I control my scapula, what is important in the handstand push-up, how can I create a triangle with my hands and my head, and stuff like that. So creating a box around here. So for example, we are doing assisted, or no, we're doing isometric, no, sorry, eccentric one-arm chin-ups with 8 to 12 seconds of eccentric motion in a superset with sticky point HSPU holds. We want to accumulate 60 to 80 seconds in as small sets as possible. So we are focusing on two specific parts of both skills. First, the eccentric motion of the one-arm chin-up, so from the lock-off point to the dead hang, and the sticky point hold of the handstand push-up, I would say the most difficult one in the handstand push-up. So afterwards, we still want to have some strength left in the tank, obviously, for the main work, because right now we are not focusing on the skill itself too much. We just want to build strength and volume and more working capacity to work towards the goal, which is the one-arm chin-up or the handstand push-up. So building the necessary working capacity, let's say, which is basically strength, towards the goal or the goals of the training itself. Let's create a box around here. So we are doing, let's say, 3 to 6 sets of supersetted, what can we do? Weighted chin-ups with handstand push-ups on the wall. So the skill component is a bit less in here. So we're just focusing on the brute force, on the brute strength of the weighted chin-ups, and we are supporting ourselves with the help of the wall during the handstand push-ups, so we can mainly focus on building the necessary strength for the one-arm chin-up and for the handstand push-up itself. Lastly, or not lastly, we can do some back-off sets, which is basically, or which we're doing for increasing the volume of the whole session when you were working with high intensities before. So if you're working with really high intensities in both of these blocks, you still want to get some volume in for muscle growth, which is really important, not just our nervous system improvement, but also some muscle growth. So we can, for example, include 1 to 2 sets of chin-ups and pike push-ups in here for maybe 8 to 12 reps. So higher volume, lower intensity here. This can also help with your recovery, because you are not working with such a high intensity as in the patterning work and in the main work. So this has a nice side effect of supporting your own recovery. And I put it on here. We can do also some Afterwards, some auxiliary work or some prehab work, which is not necessarily related to the stuff we were doing before, but we did an upper body session. So we are going to include some prehab work for the external rotator cuffs in our shoulder. So for example, yeah, as the name suggests, external rotation work in different angles. Also high volume, low intensity here, not focusing on strength, but we can work on some gaps we have within our body. Maybe we have a disbalance between the left and the right side, left arm, or right leg, left leg. This is the part where we can work on these, yeah, imbalances. Or if you struggle with any specific position in both of these skills, then you can work on these as well. Yeah, and there's also a rehab part of the whole thing, or vascularization work. We're not going to get deeper into this part, which is more for having injuries and stuff like that. But I want to introduce you to another thing which we already spoke about shortly, which is the cool down. Very much neglected in, yeah, both people that are going to the gym or doing training in general. The cool down is as much as important as the warm-up, because we are going from our training state, or we're helping our body to get, in our mind, from getting back from the training state into our everyday life state. So from a special state of the body and of the mind towards the everyday life state. So what can we do here? We can introduce some shaking. So shaking of the body parts we've been working on. So some arm swings, for example, for this upper body session, or some lower leg swings. Legs are always lower, sorry, but some leg swings for if we did a lower body strength session. We can also do some breathing meditation, which is also super nice to get our mind, or to slow down our mind and leave the training session behind. Or we can also do some stuff from the warm-up, but in a vice versa manner. So go for a small mini run really slowly, or do some rope skipping really slowly, just to get some blood flowing as well, but with an intention to leave the training state behind. We can also just lie down on the floor and relax the whole body. You can do some joint rotations to still get some blood flowing into, or get some blood flowing into the affected areas that we've been working on. So I usually do my cool down is as long as the warm-up, so as the general warm-up, so it's usually between 5 and 10 minutes. So yeah, that's the whole idea, or the whole idea of different elements for your strength training session with regards to the goal of a one-arm chin-up and of a handstand push-ups or handstand push-up. So we started with the general warm-up. You can skip this one if you, for example, if you went for a run before, or you went with a bike towards the gym. Specific warm-up is really important for the single body parts, so shoulders, wrists, maybe some torso work for upper body, and of course knees and ankles and hips for some lower body work. Then we're starting with the patterning work, which is skill specific, so different patterns of the skill. So we are working on different patterns of the skill itself, mostly on patterns we have issues with because we want to improve them. And then the main work is, yeah, which the name basically suggests, is the basic thing behind our strength training. So working on strength and volume for creating some capacities for the goal itself, and the backup sets to get some volume into our session, because usually you cannot do this session more than twice per week. I did my strength training for the last 2.5 years just once per week and made some really good progress with it, because also strength training can take a lot of energy from your body. So I don't want to do this too much, because it takes away too much other types of practices from my own practice. And then we finish off the session with some prehab work or auxiliary work, for example, rotator cuff or your hip, or if you have issues with your knees after a squatting session, you can work on these issues here. And some rehab work if you have small injuries, with really high volumes. So you can do 50 to 100 to 200 reps of something. And lastly, a very underrated topic of training itself is the cool down. So doing some shaking for upper body if you trained upper body, and lower body if you trained lower body. You can do both of these as well. Some meditation, slowly try to breathe slowly with intention, and get your nervous system back into a recovery state, which is the parasympathetic state of our nervous system. And before that, we were working in an autonomic nervous system state. So, which is really important also to increase recovery and ramp up recovery after our training session. So yeah, that's it for this video, elements of a strength training session or of a training session in general. You can also apply this scheme or this framework to other sessions as well. I very much like structured training, not all the time, but this really helps with measuring progress and making progress. And yeah, that's just wonderful in my opinion. If you have any questions, future requests for videos, please let me know. Feel free to ask any questions, put them in the comment section down below, subscribe to the channel, this would be nice, share this one with others if this is helpful, and yeah, see you guys in the next video. Bye bye guys.